Hello. Welcome to my shop of oddities. How may I help you? You have an appointment? Wonderful. In that case, I'll just take your name and I'll look you up in our appointment ledger. So what would your name be, my dear? Wonderful. Lovely name. Perchance, what day did you call and make your appointment? Wonderful. That is you that I found. That's a pleasure to meet you. My name? So, what brings you to the shop today? Really? How interesting. I've never had a customer interested before, but that's fascinating. Yes, I sell so many things. I sell dice, I sell bones, I sell crystals and gems and candles and all manner of things. But you're here for the eggs. That makes me very happy. You know, I've dedicated my life to collecting them, and it's just nice that someone appreciates what I've poured so much blood, sweat, and tears into. Literally, I'm missing several toes. Well, dragons are not exactly okay with you waltzing into their nests and taking their eggs. It's a very difficult process. Definitely not for the faint of heart. So, excellent. Well, I have an assortment, of course. I always keep them on hand just in case. I will tell you, just to advise you, each dragon has an associated stone that accompanies it that will help in the dragon's growth and development, assuming you are looking to become a dragon owner. Wonderful. Well, if you'd like to purchase the corresponding crystal to each dragon egg, I will absolutely do that. It's on me. I'll include the crystal free of charge just because I'm so excited. Yes, this is wonderful, wonderful. Okay, before we begin, I am going to light a couple of more candles because the ones I have are flickering something terrible and I wouldn't want to make you disoriented, so I'm going to light this one. There's a lovely angel on it. Absolutely wonderful. Okay. The other thing that is advisable is to light a lantern while you're around or are in the presence of a dragon egg, because warmth makes their energy more active. And you don't want to pick the dragon, you want the dragon to pick you. So I'm going to place a candle in here that I believe will help bond the dragon to you. If that's alright, of course. I think we will go with this one. I'll just dip it in this flame here. Easy. Alright, it's in the lantern. That warm glow is lovely, isn't it? I think so. Sorry, darling, I thought I saw something at the window. Anyway, okay. Dragon eggs. I'm so excited. So, do you know what breed you're looking for, or no? I got you. I got you. We'll look through them all. Okay, my first egg is an Apollo's fire crest egg. Yes, they're not exactly the greatest dragons for first-time owners. They are a fire type. They breathe not only fire, but they actually liquefy the light around them and breathe it out their mouth. So they are volatile and can burn down buildings if they want to. These dragons need a lot of sunlight. That's where they get most of their power from. One limit to their power is that they are unable to fly. They're what we call a wyvern, 2 legs. That's what the egg looks like. Yeah, it's pretty average looking, almost like a chicken egg, but like every dragon egg, it's very heavy. And you may be thinking, these are awfully small. You've never seen baby dragons. This long when they first come out. So you'll be definitely raising them from the ground up. And Apollo's fire crests are one of the smaller breeds. So as with every pet, there are pros and cons, but I would potentially steer you away from this breed just because you are inexperienced. I'm assuming you're inexperienced. Probably not your first choice. I'm personally fond of them. I love them. But yeah, that is our Apollo's fire crest egg. Okay. What's next? What's next? What's next? One of my favorites. I love this breed so much. What breed? My apologies. Cinder. These dragons are quadrupeds, so they walk on 4 legs. They have 4 legs and they walk on 4 legs. They are able to fly. They're one of the larger fire types. And unlike their sunny counterparts, they are slightly more careful with their powers. Some, how should I say this, combat-related benefits are that they can actually eat rocks and spit lava. So excellent for melting people. They are very easy to train, which is an upside. They were bred for carrying fighters into battle during the Viking times. So, Cinder. Oh, and they're completely fireproof. A lot of people or warriors make armor out of their skin, which I don't agree with, but that's a different topic. So, yeah, their eggs are slightly more oblong than the Apollo's fire crest, as you can see. This egg is also more mature, so if you're looking for a hasty hatching process, this is your egg. Yes. I do believe this is the only other fire type egg that I have. I could be wrong, I'd have to check, but yes. So if you would like the Cinder egg, They're definitely more beginner friendly, even though they don't sound like it with the whole chewing up rocks and spitting out lava thing. Yes. They're very sweet dragons. Like I said, easy to train. Alright. We have an earth type egg next. These dragons are known as emerald mosses. They only live in very thick woods. Despite the thickness and heaviness of this egg, this is the heaviest egg. You can try holding it yourself. I know, it's heavy. But despite the heftiness of the egg, emerald moss dragons are extremely small and agile. They're excellent trick dragons, so if you're into dragon reining and riding, obstacle courses, trail challenges. They're a nice leisure dragon. They can be feisty, but it can be trained out of them. It's in their nature to be very independent and live on their own. They don't live in packs like a lot of other dragons. They live by themselves in the forest. They were bred to hop between trees, so they have very long claws. They're also wyvern, so 2 legs. And their wings are very thin and spiny. Aerodynamic so that they can easily turn between trees. A masterpiece of breeding. So, I'm very partial to these. They're beautiful. They come in a lot of different color varieties. I haven't mentioned the color varieties of the dragons thus far, have I? I have not. For the Apollos, they're typically yellowy gold with some silver plating on their bodies. Pretty much just metallic shades. For the Cinder strides, black with red plating under their scales. They're beautiful, absolutely stunning dragons. The emerald mosses, though, they're usually brown with a green iridescent, like jewel tone sheen to them on their backs and their stomachs as well. But they can also have the reverse, green with bronze detailing, if you will. In some rare occasions, they are also born albino. They're the only dragon breed that where albinism is possible. There's a lot of debate in the dragon world whether the albinism is a genetic mutation or if it is a survival trait from living in snowier areas where they have to blend in. So, excuse me, darling, I need to extinguish this candle. It's almost burnt out and I don't want to get wax everywhere. There we are. This one too. Yes, so emerald moss dragons. The egg looks blue in the light, but it is green. Green egg. As I said, they can be feisty, but with good training, excellent dragons. Are you into competing with them at all? You said you're not experienced in dragon ownership, so I'd imagine not, but wonderful. You're interested? I could point you in the direction of a few trainers if you'd like. Of course. Okay, here is my final fire type dragon. This is the Amberling egg. Amberlings are very rare. They're rare because they're one of the only dragon species that have no legs and have 2 sets of wings. So they're essentially just flying snakes with a lot of spikes. Amberlings are not really meant for riding or being pets. They're very much used during wartime as exterminators. So there will be herds of them released onto villages to just cause absolute destruction. They love eating livestock, especially cows. So I would steer you away from this kind as well. They are very aggressive purely because of what they're bred for. They're used in a lot of dragon fighting rings, which I also don't agree with. But if you need, I guess, a huge guard dog, this might be a good option, except that it might also burn your home down and destroy your family. So, and Amberlings are typically white. They're not albino, but they are white with amber plating, and their spikes are also amber. They also have, as I said, they have no legs, but they also have blue eyes, which I think is an odd trait. I'm not sure what that is. It just seems to fit, you know? You don't think of blue eyes as being intimidating or scary. But these dragons are certainly not to be messed with, so that is the Amberling. Again, don't recommend for you, but I have to show you what I have. Oh, I love this one. This is another earth type. I believe this is my second to last earth type that I have, so there's one more. I know I'm bouncing around between the types. I'm just plucking them out of the box they're in. This is a poppy starling egg. And you may be thinking, poppy starling, Amberling? Yes. They are cousins. They are related. They're of the same genus, I believe. They both end in ling, so I guess there you go. The poppy starling egg. These dragons, how do I put this? They're essentially just scaly dogs. They're very good with kids, very good with other animals. They're great with other dragons. They're actually favored in breeding hybrids. None of these eggs are hybrids, by the way. They're all purebred, so a lot of people like to make up things about me and the reputability of my store, the things I sell. And I can't even dispute that. However, the one thing I will say is that all of my dragon eggs are 100% purebred. And I do that so that the dragons don't have health issues and that it's ethical. I believe that in dragon breeding, there is a very specific way that it needs to be done. And if you don't do it right, then you shouldn't be doing it at all. So, anyway, poppy starling egg. Great with kids, great with animals, great with other dragons. Good for breeding, good for riding. I would recommend this as like the kids' first dragon because they're typically pretty small. They're about mid-sized. They are quadrupedal and they do have wings, but they do not spit fire. What they do instead is spit a vapor that temporarily puts the target to sleep. Hence the poppy in the name, because, you know, poppy, opium, sleep. So this one does have a few marks on it. It was left in the fire a bit too long, so this one might hatch prematurely. So if you're okay with a premature dragon, then I have no problem selling it to you. Just be aware that you may have to accommodate some certain special needs for the dragon, just in case. It's not a guarantee if they're hatched prematurely, but it is a good thing to keep in mind just in case. So yeah, That is the Poppy Starling egg. It's pink. They're adorable. Color-wise, they usually come in pastel colors. They're very cute, aesthetically pleasing dragons. That you have your lavender, you have your baby pink, you have your periwinkle, you have your sage green. So there's really a lot of different colors, and sometimes they change colors as you get older, as they get older, sorry. So it's really a surprise. So if you're looking for a dragon for a young person, this is a great one. They are not aggressive. They really don't bite. Their teeth are very dull because they're mostly herbivorous. But yep, that's the Poppy Starling. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but depending on the dragon that you want, I'll give you, oh yeah, I told you I'll give you the stone for it. And also I will include a booklet on how to care for them, but that'll be up front. So I'll give you the egg and the crystal, and then we'll go up front and I'll go over all the directions. So okay, awesome, wonderful. Okay. I have another Amberling egg. I didn't realize I had two. So just to give you an idea of a bit of the differentiation that you can see in Amberling eggs, this one is a lot lighter. It has more white toward the apex. This one is more amber colored, but they're about the same size. So that means that this one is probably going to be larger, and therefore probably more aggressive. So I'm just gonna set these aside. You don't want an Amberling, I'm assuming. No, I didn't think so, darling. Okay, wonderful. Oh, how fun. Okay, this next dragon egg is an air type. This has a little bit of soot on it still. These are Nimbus star dragons, named after the clouds. So these dragons are special because they're one of the few breeds that are born with fur. They have scales, but they have fur on top. They're quadrupedal. They have 2 sets of wings. And they are pure white. White eyes, white scales, even their tongues and the insides of their bodies are all pure white. They're one of the largest breeds. They are typically used for transporting large amounts of people or product over distances. So they're big and they're slow flyers, but they're safe. They have a very calm temperament. They just sort of cruise along the clouds. And they don't really even breathe anything. It's up for debate because some people say that they breathe lightning. Personally, I've been around these dragons a lot and I've never seen that happen. However, I'm not completely discrediting that. I'm just throwing it out there. So, if you want a potentially lightning breathing transportation dragon, then this might be the one for you. Very sweet. Gentle giants for sure. All right. This is another air type. This is a Tormentor. These dragons were bred in the deserts, places that are very hot, places with a lot of sand. And they are called Tormentors because they are highly dangerous. Yes. The thing about them is that if they find a human that they bond with, they are loyal to the death. So if that person happens to be you, you will never ever be caught in the line of fire. As I said, they were bred in the desert, and they have the ability to digest sand and breathe out shards of glass instead of fire. It's a fascinating power. I'm writing a research paper about how the Tormentor digestive system works. Excuse me. I think it's fascinating. They're wyverns. They're wingless. They're meant to run across the dunes. They have very sharp claws and teeth, good for defending, and of course there is that handy dandy power of spitting hot glass at people. They have interesting tails because they have tails almost like an ankylosaurus. Have you seen those where they're like, they have the ball, it swings and it's dangerous? The Tormentor has that. So, yes, an interesting purchase. All right, we're on to our final type, the water types. We'll start with the beautiful blue. It also has soot on it. Excuse me. So, we'll start with the Perlino dragon. As you can see, pure white egg. These are typically associated with coastlines. They make their nests in caves. They're very family oriented. They essentially become rafts. They are quadrupedal, but they have the most sets of wings of any other dragon breed, the Perlinos. They have 4, which makes them excellent at, essentially, like I said, becoming rafts. You can land them on water, you can land them on cliff faces, and they can stand perfectly vertically. So, excellent. Pretty calm. They're similar to the Nimbuses. Yes, I believe they're distant cousins as well, but there's no scientific research to back that up. I just guessed. So, Perlino. These next ones have a bit of a boring name. These are the Sandstone dragons. I can tell whoever named that breed didn't like them much because they're truly a fascinating breed. Sandstone dragons have 2 heads. That's right, 2 heads. They live on beaches. They typically burrow in the sand. They're very small, by the way. They don't grow larger than a large dog, so you can't ride them in the air. They do have wings, but they prefer to walk. They're quadrupedal. Very, very long tail. And they have spikes along their tail that they can perk up only when they want to. So he has 2 heads, and the general folklore around it is that one head is calm and the other head is more temperamental. It's kind of like the angel and devil on the shoulder situation, but just with heads. So they're a very interesting dragon. They make funny pets because they're not dangerous, and they are kind of stupid. So it's a fun bet if you just want to get used to being around dragons. Yes. And now we have the Aqua dragon. They live underwater. They are a water-breathing breed. They have a very long sea snake-like body, though they do have wings that allow them to fly outside the water to hunt birds and other animals. They typically eat dolphins. Yes. Nasty, nasty creatures. Very unlikable in temperament, very hissy, very independent. They don't really bond to people all that well. Ancient fishermen actually use them to help catch fish, but those fishermen must have had nerves of steel because they are not. Oh, also, I forgot to mention what the Sandstone dragon look like. They're pretty much just brown. So, anyway, the Aqua dwellers. They're terrifying to look at. They have 4 eyes each. So they have normal set and then ones below. Their pupils spin. Their whole eyeballs spin in their heads. And they have a mouth that doesn't close. It just stays open. And their teeth, and similarly to the dragon breeds that have all white insides, the Nimbuses, the Aqua dwellers, insides are all black. Black teeth, black tongue, black intestines. They're not pretty to look at. I'll just say that. So, no Aqua dwellers. I don't blame you. So, have you made up your mind? You're taking 2. Wow. Okay, wonderful. And which ones would that be? You want the Sandstone? How adorable. Of course. And Poppy Starling. Excellent choices. Excellent choices, my dear. Alright, so I've got your Poppy Starling, and I've got your Sandstone. We're going to set those right there. They'll stand. I'll back them up for you, and then I'll get you the crystals for them. And then we can go up front, and I can tell you everything you need to know about your new pets. I'm so excited for you. So, we've got the Poppy Starling egg. I can get it in the bag. The stone that goes along with it, rhodonite. Okay, and then we've got your Sandstone egg. And where is that stone that goes with it? Ah, smoky quartz. Well, darling, this is absolutely wonderful. I'm so happy that you are choosing to begin your journey as a dragon owner. If you'd like to follow me up to the front of the store, we can get you all checked out and get you all the information you need for your dragons. Yes, wonderful. It's been so nice meeting you. Thank you so much for coming in. Of course. Have a good night.